Hello Brookfield, welcome to your Friday assembly. So this morning I'm going to be talking to you about next year, plans for next year. I'm going to be talking to you about some plans for next week and the last few weeks of term, and then I'm going to be sharing with you a very special person, a poet. I'm going to be talking about their life, sharing a poem with you, and then I've got a book tip for the grown-ups as well. Okay, so in the newsletter that this video is embedded in is the list of teachers and support staff for September, which is really exciting. We've got lots of fantastic teachers and support staff at Brookfield. They're all staying with us, which is amazing, and I hope you're really pleased when you hear who you're going to be learning with next year, and we're going to give that job to parents this time. So in other news, if you're in years 2, 3, 4 or 5 and you're learning at home, then your parents will have got a letter today, because as well as PE on the Heath, we're suggesting a meet-up and picnic in Waterloo Park each week, visits to the farm in your bubble groups, and also woodwork lessons. So parents, check your emails. We've also let you know all the names of the children in your bubble class, so that you know that you can meet and play with those children safely. Okay, so we have been thinking in the assemblies that we were having before Easter about our vision at Brookfield, and here we have it on this piece of paper. So, inspiring the best in everyone through achievement, responsibility and kindness. And this term we're focusing on this one here, achievement. And what I want to talk to you about today, and the poet I'm about to talk to you about, I think from this list of all the things we do to achieve, I think we've got a fantastic example of someone who has persevered and embraced challenge. So as I read to you about him, see if you can spot what challenges have been overcome and what examples of perseverance, of keeping trying. So here's a book I've brought in from home. So this one is called Stories for Boys Who Dare to Be Different. And I was reading this with Heath on the sofa yesterday, and I said, oh Heath, I've got to do an assembly about achievement. Can you see if you can find the best example of someone in the book? So he found lots of examples, and he kept saying, oh, how about this person and how about this person? And I said, oh, I want the best one. Which one do you think is the strongest example of somebody who has achieved? And there are loads in this book, and I'll share some more with you in assemblies in the future. But here we go. He picked for us Benjamin Zephaniah. So he is a poet. There's a picture, an illustration of him. And then look at all these words around the outside, because not only does he write poetry, he also performs it. So let me read to you about his life. So I'll see if I can still get the picture in. There we go. So Benjamin Zephaniah was born in 1958. He could barely read or write when he was kicked out of school. He was only 13. Things had been so hard at home that he found it difficult to care about studying, and always ended up in trouble. What he really cared about was poetry, not old poems by dead poets, but the living poems and stories that his mother told him about life in Jamaica. Ones like the tales of Anansi, a tricksy spider who could disguise himself as a man, who made a deal with the sky god to own all of the stories in the world. Benjamin knew what he wanted to do, so he started doing it. He wrote his own poems and performed them wherever he could, in churches, community centres and on the street. Soon, people started listening. His poetry was for real people and it was about real things, like the pain of racism, the joy of dancing, and whether or not it's okay to eat animals. In no time, you could hear it everywhere: dance floors, protests, concerts, and on the TV. His mission was to bring poetry back to life, to remind people of the power it still has. Benjamin travelled the world, reciting his verses over music that was a mixture of everything from hip-hop to rock. As he went, he inspired young people not just to write, but to rap and to perform and to speak up for what they believed in. Benjamin has helped prime ministers, been on worldwide tours, written best-selling books, and can hardly walk down the street in London without people calling out to him. "Thanks," they shout. He waves back, and it's all down to his poetry. So, have a little think. What has Benjamin achieved? And what challenges did he have to meeting those great things that he did? And what evidence was it that he persevered? I'll let you just have a think about those things as I get my next book ready. Right, okay. And perhaps if you're watching with an adult, you've had a chance to talk to them. I was really struck by the fact that he became a writer when at school was really difficult for him, and that when he was 13, that he had struggles with reading and writing. So I think that was a huge challenge that he overcame. So I'm going to read you a poem from a book which has lots and lots of poems in. And what would I like you to think about as I read this? So it's a poem about one of these, which we're all very familiar with. And I would like you to think about what feelings are expressed in this poem, and if it gives you any different ideas about such a simple object like this. Okay, here we go. It's called Pencil Me In. I know a pencil full of lead. It knows the thoughts within my head. It knows my secrets and my fears. It draws a line right through my tears. I know a pencil, old and grey, willing to work both night and day, fat and lovely, light and fine. It moves with me through space and time. Be they good or be they bad, it tells of all the dreams I have. And when I have no oar to row, it writes away and lets me go. When baby words are crying loud, it touches words and makes me proud. A work of art, it is no fake, it really has a point to make. This pencil sees the best of me, the worst and all the rest of me, and as I go through puberty, it changes all my poetry. It goes with me on all my tours, it fought with me in all word wars, and peacefully this pencil tries to help me learn and make me wise. Every pencil needs a hand, and every mind needs to expand. I know a pencil. What you see is me and it in harmony. A beautiful poem by Benjamin Zephaniah. I asked you to think about feelings. I asked you to think about if you've got any different response to this simple object. I was struck very soon in the poem when he talked about fears and tears. and then later on about dreaming and feeling proud. And then there was this lovely section about the pencil seeing the best and worst of me. So yeah, it really made me think differently about a simple object and how, when we're in harmony with that object, like Benjamin is with his writing, what a tool of expression it can be, and how we can share our feelings. So, okay, the last thing I'm going to share with you, this is for the grown-ups really. So this is a book by Viv Groskop, and it's called How to Own the Room, and there's a picture of her here at the back. And I was given this book by one of my Lido lady friends, and this was when I was preparing for my interview here at school. So I'd started the job as acting head teacher and I loved it, and so I was interviewing, and this was a book that she gave me to inspire me for when I presented and when I was in the interview. And what I love about this book is that it uses lots of different examples, and they are women in this book, of brilliant speakers. And she talks about these speakers and what we can learn from them. So there's how to be more Oprah, how to be more Michelle. And then do you remember last week I shared with you that book about the lessons for a baby, for a child, her goddaughter. So here we have Chimamanda, and she's done some fantastic speeches. Yeah, so there we go. There's my tip for a brilliant, that's a non-fiction book for our grown-ups. So in this assembly, we've thought about what's happening over the next few weeks. We've talked about what's happening in September and the new staff that you'll get to know. We've focused on achievement and thought about Benjamin Zephaniah, who persevered and embraced challenge. I've shared with you one of my favourite poems of his about a pencil. And I want you to leave this assembly thinking about how can you embrace challenge over this next week? What things can you try and overcome so you can achieve your goals? I'm going to leave you there. Have a lovely weekend and week ahead, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.